LSD. You might know it as a drug people used to get high, or you might correlate it with the hippie movement in the 60s. But what if I told you the CIA had other plans? During the Cold War, the CIA launched one of the most disturbing experiments in American history, Project MK Ultra, a secret program aimed at mastering mind control using drugs, hypnosis, and psychological torture, all in the name of national security. What started as a quest to control the human mind ended up exposing how far a government would go when no one's watching. Welcome to the SIA.
Hello.
We have another
In
episode.
person.
Yes, this is different. This is a little different setup than we usually do. This is not on Discord right now. We're on we're together.
Hopefully this works out. We had a couple technicalities we had to try fixing.
Yes.
I think we're good now though.
We should be all right, but if it is just completely trashed, I apologize in advance. But yeah, so it should be good. Hopefully, I know it's not like beautiful right now, but I mean it works. So that's all I really care about. But yeah, that's it for now. Today's episode. We're on MK Ultra. If you don't know about MK Ultra, we're about to spill the beans per se.
Dude, now that we're just not, does MK stand for anything? It never crossed my brain till now that could it possibly? Maybe hit that at Google.
You could a quick look Google. I'll use the phone because I'm not trying to fuck with the laptop right now.
I mean, I'd be surprised if it does stand for something. But I literally just now, as you said it, and I was looking down where I wrote down MK Ultra, I was like, does MK stand for anything?
It just says it's a code name, not an acronym. MK is a prefix used by the CIA's Office of Technical Service.
Okay. So
Ultra, arbitrary chosen word from a dictionary that was used to refer to the project.
So it's nothing special.
We're good. But yeah, MK Ultra. It is a mind control experiment that the CIA conducted from
1953 to 1973. So 20 years long. There was things that were going on before. I mean, you talk to some people, they might still say they're doing it to this day, but the MK Ultra, what we're going to talk about, was essentially 1953 to 1973, and a little bit before, because there was a few projects before that, which led into this creation of MK Ultra. But yeah, that's the quick overrun. But to go in a little deeper, it was essentially they were experimenting on humans and trying to control the brain or just figure out how these drugs or other tactics they use when they'd like ask people questions. Could they get more secrets out of them? Could they convince them to do certain things? Other things like that by using LSD, morphine, other drugs. I had a fucking list of things in here. Well, they'd use other methods like electroshocks. They'd use hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and just they'd use everything they possibly could to try to get whatever they could out of the people that they were using as subjects, or get them to do anything that they could without them. I forget the word I'm looking for, but
without them what?
Without their consent, like they're unwillingly doing
yes,
this
yeah, like unwillingly using civilians.
I think the way I worded it, there was no
subjects.
word to be found there, but yeah.
But you found it. You got it.
We made it.
You got it there.
But yeah.
That's the overrun of MK Ultra, basically.
The quick little rundown. We'll go in a little deeper, talk about certain projects they had, other people, everything. But that's just a quick overview of what MK Ultra, essentially what they were trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you don't know as well, MK Ultra was, it's like kind of like an umbrella for all these different type of other secret projects they are working on. So like we talk about like Midnight Climax and was that Bluebird? It's another one I believe.
Bluebird, Project Chatter, and Project Artichoke. Those were all before MK Ultra started, like in like the early 50s, so just a few years before it started. But it wouldn't even sound like umbrella, like it was going on in multiple. They just have random subjects that they'd lure in with prostitutes. It's going on in the military. It's going on in colleges, hospitals, prisons, pharmaceutical companies. Like it, they we're just testing out every walk of life pretty much and how this thing would affect people.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
These
Yeah.
things.
Or how LSD would affect the human brain and how they could, if they could use that to their advantage.
Yeah.
Because they tried with marijuana and heroin and morphine, and they said that nothing, and even mescaline, which is
they
like
tried with like
similar.
every drug you could possibly imagine. LSD was just, they could come up with the best results with LSD.
Yeah. And I mean, like, eventually they say that MK Ultra like was unsuccessful and that they never actually figured out mind control. But
Yeah.
if you look at other things, I kind of think that is
Yeah.
a lie, just like everything else the government tells us. But
I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you definitely fuck with conspiracy theories. So you think that all these people that are doing crazy shootings and every other thing, it's like somebody had to have convinced or put something in their brain. Which, well, that's not to say that the CIA was dosing with LSD, but
at the same time, I think also like another thing is like TikTok.
oh yeah, for sure. Social media is the biggest drug in the world right now.
Yeah, it is, and I think people say that and they don't realize like what they're saying. But I think like it is in a way like it is a MK Ultra type of drug.
100%.
Because if you have a certain type of algorithm and it just constantly feeds you a certain content, and then that's all you're thinking of is that thing, like you're gonna be pushed to some radical boundaries, in my opinion.
I mean, for sure. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't have TikTok per se, so I sit on Instagram Reels all day though. So it's not like I'm fucking not on that stuff. I just don't have TikTok. But like, yeah, like if I'm like once it hits football season, I start to get a bunch of football stuff in my things, and like, I'm liking them, whatever. And then outside of that, if it gets like a political season or anything like that, I'm seeing all that stuff, and it's like all things that are lined up with things that like I've liked before or that I watch maybe twice. Maybe I read the comments on them, and I can just tell. Like, I'll see one video that I'm like, this is stupid, but let me read the comments. And it'll be like some guy talking about something. I'm like, well, I hate this guy, but what are these comments saying? Yeah. And then I just get a shit ton of his stuff, and I'm like...
And it just keeps feeding you. The algorithm thinks you like it because you looked at comments and things. It just keeps feeding you stuff, basically. It is the biggest drug in the world at this point. And I think it definitely, like, just like the blue light, the constant dopamine hits you get off it, like, it definitely is.
I think it's not even
affecting people.
I don't know. Well, a lot of what I'll see when I'm listening to podcasts with all these older people and they're talking, they're always talking about how kids like in our generation and younger, maybe like it's a little bit older of us, and then to like younger than us, and obviously going on still, they always say that like the social media is like it's causing people to kill themselves and jealousy and all that stuff, which is like to a point for sure. There's definitely been some cases like that, but I feel like that's not as prevalent as like older people think in a sense. I think it's more so like what you were saying, like it just makes you think a certain way.
Yeah,
as well as just like it does destroy your attention span. Yeah,
it destroys your attention span, your dopamine receptors, and I think it definitely can radicalize you pretty easily as well. Like I've definitely been pumped up by some reels before.
But the whole the whole stigma of how older people will say is like, oh, they see this stuff, they just get jealous, and then it makes them depressed and all that stuff. Like, that's definitely true in some cases, but, like, I feel like for 99% of cases, that's, like, nobody really gives a fuck.
I think majority of Gen Z really doesn't.
Like, obviously, like, when we post one of these podcasts and it gets views, we're like, hell yeah. But, like, I'm not looking at Joe Rogan like, what the fuck, I should be him. Like,
exactly. It's like, this is our fourth episode. Like, it's not going to pop off like that this quick already. He's on, 2000 something? Like,
I have no clue, but
I think 2000. Like I think the last one I saw was like 2300. So he's done a lot of these podcasts. Like this is our fourth one we've ever done. So it's like,
but it's just like I don't know,
so
the whole jealousy aspect to make yourself get depressed, which I guess it varies from creating a podcast to social media pictures. But it's like I think that lasts from like 5th grade to like 8th, and then everyone's like, okay, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, like I agree, but I mean, I guess in that time frame, like that's where they're kind of getting these numbers from. I guess is like that.
Yeah, but like, I really don't think anybody's committed suicide in like 7th grade because some girl could do her makeup better and threw on a couple more filters.
I guess you're right. I
mean, maybe they're like sad about it, but then like
they already have
a year later they were like, I'm the biggest fucking loser of all time.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
And that's fair.
I don't know.
All right, well, let's
I don't know.
get back into MK Ultra here. I think we start up with Frank Olson because that's kind of like.
You want to start with Frank Olson?
I think that's kind of like the first type of thing. No, like the first like that's like what 1953. This all went down, right?
Yes, it was in 1953. So that's the year that MK Ultra started.
Yes.
But Frank Olson, he was a bacteriologist for the U.S. Army Biological Warfare Laboratories. Now, I can't even act like I know what any of that means, but that's what he was. But He was given LSD without knowing by his boss, who was in the CIA in 1953. 9 days later, after being dosed with this LSD by his boss, he fell to his death from a New York hotel window. And immediately it was just ruled a suicide, said he jumped out, whatever. But then later on, there was autopsy. He'd taken a blow to the head. It didn't specify if it was like from like a hard object or a fist or anything. It just said he took a blow to the head. And so people, when they saw that, they went, well, maybe this wasn't a suicide and there was like a murder or something like that. So that's a story that, maybe you could look up way more stuff and find a couple extra sentences to add to that story. But that's essentially the main story of that.
Yes.
Which
it was like a CIA like retreat, like compound type of like vacation home almost, and yeah, and that's where they dosed him the first time at least.
Oh, okay.
Talk about that. The first time he got dosed. You're talking about when he died. Sorry.
I don't know I just wrote that he got dosed.
Yeah, he was dosed. Like I think they kept dosing him
Constantly?
That's not official. That is just what
I read he got dosed, and then 9 days later he died.
I think that's correct. Yes, but I'm saying but I'm saying like the first time they believe he was on LSD when he died as well though.
Okay.
Is
So
what I'm
like
saying.
maybe they started and then constantly. I guess I
Yes.
didn't go too in deep on this Frankelson. I kind of just read a headline and a couple sentences.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I also wrote down like 18 other names. But I don't know. That's besides the point. But yeah, that's. I don't even know what the fuck I was about to say. But that is crazy.
But yeah, so he got dosed at this CIA compound with other CIA members. He was like drinking alcohol or whatever, and then they dosed his cup, and then he started tripping. He was freaking the fuck out, and then eventually, 9 days later, they have him evaluated by like the CIA psychiatrist, who was also like the head of MK, not the head of MK Ultra, but one of the psychiatrists in MK Ultra, and they'd already been dosing people before, but this is like one of the biggest kind of like. This is the whole reason that all these like files came out is because of the Frank Olson death.
Yeah.
And he got dosed, and then he started freaking out, and then took him to the psychiatrist. He was fine then. He decided like, all right, I'm good. I'm gonna go home, back to my family. And then when he did that, he was in a hotel with another CIA agent, and then they say he jumped out the window, broke the glass, and then he fell to his death.
So that's like the full 100% true story?
That is what they have said. But
Who's they?
The CIA.
Okay.
But I think I don't quote me on this, but I believe they also said that he was on LSD when he died. I don't know if the CIA officially said that, but that's what most people are saying because that makes the most sense.
That's what I didn't write down the full story, but I wrote down the headlines of what it would be.
Yeah.
But that would make sense from the later autopsy. He got a blow to the head, unless he like just literally went AWOL and was like smashing his head into shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless he went headfirst through the window, but that is insane. And like I've seen like the crime scene diagram of it as well, and the window's like that window over there where it's like half goes up, half goes down. So this dude and there was a radiator in front of it too. Which if you've ever seen a radiator, they're pretty big.
It's
so
like the size of the bottom half of that window down
So like that bottom half of that window, you guys can't see it, but it's like I don't know about
It's like 12 by 16 by 32.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So like,
I mean, the radiator's smaller than that, but
but you have a radiator in front of it, which they're like I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Let's go about like this
it's
wide.
a New York City window.
Yeah, New York City window, high
50s,
rise. It's
like
50s, mid late 50s.
I guess 53.
50s.
Early
Yeah.
mid, yeah.
So, but like to break, like say that's like the same window he was jumping through, you'd have to be like back, like they said he'd have to be at the end of the room, like
dude,
the front
you'd probably
door.
fucking hit your head on it and
Run
die
through.
before you broke through.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel. I mean, I guess glass.
Unless it was open.
Glass back then was a little different, I guess. But I mean, at the same time, like this wood is probably like tempered, so like it's gonna hurt. But like
Right.
I'm saying like back
Still.
then, but still, if you had
You'd
to
have,
run
like-
from the front door of the hotel room all the way to that,
I think
window,
that would have probably like been a big part of the autopsy if he had like glass in his fucking forehead. From
Yeah, I guess that's
diving
fair.
through the window.
Yeah, but I don't
No,
know.
I don't know.
I think the other guy killed him for sure, and then because there was also
I could see. I mean, it definitely. If he was dosing with the LSD and then maybe he was just going crazy, like, dude, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, I gotta. Like, if he's part of the CIA, he knew other things as well, and then he's tripping balls for fucking days on end.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, I gotta fucking. These things I know. We have to tell these people about this stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, we can't
Yeah.
do that. And then just. whack him.
Did you hear about the phone call too after?
Who made a phone call?
The guy he was in the hotel room called Alan Dulles, the head of the CIA at the
Alan
time.
Dulles?
And Dulles, and also the head of MK Ultra at the time as well. And he was like, he's gone. He's like, it's over or whatever. So like, 'cause like back then, they had like manual like phone operators,
Yeah.
but they like transfer calls, and they would like eavesdrop. And one of the people who were operating the phones was eavesdropping on that call, and said that he was saying like it was really short, and he was like, he's gone, it's over. Just pretty
That's
insane.
crazy.
Pretty
Yeah.
unreal. It's like I don't think this guy killed himself at all. I think he
It
was
doesn't
killed.
sound like it.
No, I don't think there's any way in hell that he.
That's
actually killed
crazy.
himself.
Yeah, I like I said, I literally wrote down the headlines from it and a couple dates, but
Yeah. But I mean, we'll go back in that story because when at the end of this MK Ultra, we'll talk about how the files came out and everything, and
yeah.
his son had a big play in that. So, but yeah.
I mean, do you just want to keep talking about other people that?
Yeah, we'll
We're
go
gonna
like
fuck with-
like people who died or some of the we'll go with experiments as well.
Well, we could talk about this inmate. I forget what jail he was in, but his name was James Whitey Bulger. I think Whitey was like his nickname or something. And he was in a jail. He was gonna be there like forever. And I think he had schizophrenia because the CIA came to him and was like, we want to test out this schizophrenia medicine or whatever the hell they said to him. But they told him this, and he was like, okay, that's fine. I'm assuming that they did it for like, if you do this, then we can like get you better stuff in here or whatever. Like maybe we'll reduce your sentence by so long you can be eligible for bail earlier. Whatever. They definitely gave him some incentive to try out drugs, but they never gave him any medicine for schizophrenia. For 15 months straight, every day, they just gave him LSD. Like every day.
You could fry your brain
Like
so
every
easily,
day,
dude.
I'm assuming like every day the doctor would come by your cell and be like, all right, here's your medicine.
Yeah.
And they just, every time they're giving him medicine, he's just getting a dose of LSD.
Yeah, and he's already schizophrenic. Like
He's
gonna mess you
schizophrenic.
up.
He's an inmate. I should have looked up what his charge was. I didn't look what it was, but I know he was in like a prison and he was doing some time, so it wasn't something good. So he was already a fucked up person. He might have been generally schizophrenic, and now he's just getting dosed with LSD for almost a year and a half straight. Or
Yeah.
a year and 3 months straight.
Yeah, which is insane. Like it's gonna mess.
That'd fuck up
like,
the smartest dude on earth.
Yeah. Be Einstein and you'd be your brain is fried. Like you
Yeah,
can't even
which,
think of
I mean,
original thought.
He never killed himself, but eventually later on he wrote and said that like if he was genuinely a schizophrenic like person who was doing bad things and everything, he later wrote after all this stuff, once everything came out and he figured it out, he was like, dude, I've never been the same. I have permanent damage. Like I can't think about
Yeah.
certain things. Like it just destroyed his brain. After
Yeah.
like from what, no offense to him, I don't know, but I'm assuming his brain wasn't going at 100%.
Yeah, it wasn't yeah.
Add 15 months of LSD to that.
Yeah, it's gonna just fry your shit, dude. That's bad. I mean, do you know was there like a dosage amount they gave him at all, or I don't remember on that at all. I don't know.
It didn't. I mean, what I read, it never specified for said. It just said that he received LSD daily for 15 months when they told him it was schizophrenic medicine. So I'm assuming it was probably just like a pill that they had every day, and never said like this many. I don't even know how you dosify like LSD.
I forget what it is. To be honest with you, it's like
I know
it's not milligrams, but it's like
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know.
I don't remember. I should have remembered
I
that.
know it's a liquid that you dip in papers to be like milliliters, but
I think so, yeah,
It
it's
never,
just
I don't know. It
certain-
never specified the exact amount, or I don't know if they upped his dosage or anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know at the time if they knew about like tolerances. I'm assuming they knew about tolerances. I just don't know how in depth they were with the LSD. Probably, knowing that they were doing this shit to a bunch of people,
Yeah, I
they
would
probably
think
knew
so.
about tolerances. So they probably were slowly just ramping it up and whatever. But
Which is insane because like every day it's just gonna be like the same, if not more. You know, I mean, if you build a tolerance to be the same exact thing every single day, but that's crazy. Like having the same exact
But
trip every single day is
also,
gonna
I don't
mess
know.
you up.
There has to be some sort of withdrawals from LSD now. If you're doing it for 8 months, then you try to quit for a month, you're probably gonna feel like you're tripping more than if you weren't on it.
I don't know if you feel like you're tripping if you weren't. I think you'd just be like the actual. I guess you're like the
You know
real
what I'm saying,
world.
in a sense.
Yeah, like the real world would feel like a trip.
Like if
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
taking LSD every day for a year straight and you're tripping balls every day and then you don't trip, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, like everything would feel so off. Cause
It'd
you're just
feel like
yeah.
you're almost tripping, like you wouldn't
Yeah.
feel normal.
Like I'm saying, like being normal would feel like a trip type of deal.
Yeah.
Which would be really odd. like insanely odd. So
That shit would suck.
dude, that would suck. Every single day you're getting dosed up with LSD. Like, I mean, like, if I wasn't already
You might have like a
schizophrenic, you
couple
might-
days where you're just like having the time of your life.
Yeah, like the first like couple times, like
90% of the
this shit's lit.
time at least has to be like, oh my fucking god, what is going on?
Yeah, and like, yeah, dude.
If you're like already schizophrenic too, and you're like, why is it getting so much worse?
Yeah. The voices are big, they have
80
bodies
voices
now.
instead
Yeah,
of fucking
like
3.
you're instead of hearing the voices, you're seeing the voices. Like, that'd be hell, dude. That would suck.
Fellas are coming to life.
Yeah, literally, dude. Should blow.
No, that blows. But I mean, we have more names. You wanna? I guess we. Ted Kaczynski. Everyone knows who that is. Now, there's not a whole lot on him.
For
But
MK Ultra, at least.
For MK Ultra, I mean, Ted Kaczynski was a Unabomber, if you don't know, which
Would definitely do an episode on him.
yeah, that's a
as well.
whole other thing. But there is allegedly he, and this is just what it says. Allegedly, he was involved in MK Ultra operations when he was at Harvard in the early 1960s. And now, why they say that he might have been involved was because at the time that he was at Harvard, he had this professor. I believe his name was James Murray. I know his last name was Murray. I think it's James Murray. And he was pretty much running a psychological, like a psyop out of his class, where he would ask his class like all these questions about like religious beliefs, political beliefs, everything, make everyone like say it out loud. I believe this is true because I heard someone else talking about it. He'd make them write it down and then turn it in, and then say it out loud in front of the class, and then break down into small groups, talk about it, and then him and other people would personally talk to other people one-on-one or in groups about it.
Okay.
And you know damn well that those answers are going to vary from what you
Yeah.
personally write down, then say out loud, then in a group, and then being like, so they do that stuff, and they do that, like they did over 200 hours of that stuff, and they'd make them rewatch the film all together in class. So they're looking, oh, well, he wrote down this, and then out loud he said this. And then when they were in a small group, they got into this conversation. He started acting differently about the belief here. And so that's what was going on with Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, when he was at the Harvard in the early 60s, when MK Ultra was going on. James Murray also worked for the OSS, which is the precursor to the CIA. So he had, I'm not saying he did, but at least he had ties to the CIA.
Yeah, I mean, and like it's reported too that the CIA did give LSD like professors, and
Yes.
that's how, like, if you don't know this, like LSD came from Switzerland, like it's called bicycle day is what they call it, where like LSD was like the guy who made LSD did it himself and then rode a bicycle, and he was like, what the fuck is going on type shit. Like, he was like tripping balls, but it's like a big holiday or whatever for people who do that shit.
Day.
Yeah, I mean, a lot.
Oh, it's like the 420 for LSD.
Yeah, type shit. Yeah, that's kind of what it's like. So like, but this guy, so it came from Switzerland in the lab, and then the CIA kept buying it, like a fuck ton of it, and then eventually could just produce their own and would produce it from this guy and everything, and then they would give it to college professors, and they would give it to their students, and then it just kind of spread out, and that's how the whole like hippie, like what do you want to call it, hippie movement, revolution, whatever, of the 60s, 70s kind of came about, and how LSD became so prevalent is because of the CIA. Basically, the CIA basically made LSD as big as it was, just like they did crack in the 80s. Like,
so that that just that adds to the ties of he could have been a part of it. There's technically no, like, you can't, I mean, maybe if you found some fringe website that's like not 100% this is going to be true facts, you could find a link, but there's no definitive link out there between MK Ultra and Harvard in that class specifically with Ted Kaczynski. But with the fact that their classroom is running a psyop who's being taught by a former OSS member,
it's like
that the CIA was known to give these to other college institutions and other professors and everything. I'd say it's hard to argue that wasn't happening.
Yeah,
like, it was. And that's not even to say that that's what made Ted Kaczynski the Unabomber. He could have just been crazy in general. But still, that's just a popular name that very likely could have been a part of this.
Yeah, which is like kind of insane if that's true, you know.
It is
like,
very
it's
insane.
pretty
Which,
insane.
and if it does come out as true, then you go, that probably is what led him to be the Unabomber. But
yeah,
could have also not been. He could have just been a fucking freakazoid. But
I don't know. He was kind of the man. I'm
didn't his
kind of
brother turn him in?
I believe so. Yeah.
Was his
brother's kind of a pussy for that? But Ted's kind of. Have you read his manifesto at all?
I think I've heard some parts. He was saying like some slick ass shit. Now.
He was, dude. It's a good read. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a good read. Like he's kind of the man. Yeah, there's a couple slingers in there, dude. He had a way with words. You know, like if I was alive at that time, I don't know, I'd follow him.
A lot of sick people had a great way with words.
It's true. I mean, that's kind of like what makes like a psychopath, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, he was like, but like the people he was bombing was like government officials, like. Nobody.
Is that all he killed? His government officials?
I believe so. Yeah, he just sent bombs to them. He sent mail to them, and it would be like pipe bombs in them. And he lived in the woods in a little cabin by himself, wrote his manifesto, and killed government officials. Kind of the dude. Kind of a guy.
I don't know who these government officials are, but I've done a lot of research on the Unabomber. But
yeah, but he's kind of, I don't know.
I know. I've heard some people say he's kind of the man. His brother's a pussy for turning him in.
So yeah, exactly. So it's
is that the only reason he got caught? Because his brother turned him in?
I think so. Yeah, because like his brother found out that he was doing it, which is like
it's definitely fucked up. You shouldn't be sending bombs in the mail.
Yeah, we don't approve of that, but
it is kind of baller. Just living off the land and fucking
yeah, living off the land, writing a manifesto about how the Industrial Revolution ruined everything,
and
how well, he was talking about like how it ruined like the purpose of humans. Like you have no purpose in life anymore. Is what his kind of thing was.
Well, you can make that argument now with AI.
You can now. That's why it's like that's why he's more prevalent than ever, is because of like what all the stuff you wrote about. But
yeah.
All right, well, let's go on to
crazy. Well, I don't know much about the Charles Manson stuff. I mean, we both know. You might know a little more than me, but he's also another person that's just it's completely alleged that he was a part.
Yeah.
Of the MK Ultra stuff because he was in jail and what was it? He got released in '67, right? 1967. Mm-hmm. And he got released. He'd been in jail for like half his life at that point, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was like I don't know exactly what he was in for, but he was in.
He was doing time though.
Yeah, he was, but he was in and out of jail constantly after that as well. And like it'd be like for very short periods of time, and then he would
for
always
like crazy offenses too. It wasn't like an OWI or a DUI or some shit. It was like
running a stoplight or some shit like that. It was like some crazy
you facing like a year to 3
years. Yeah, like I don't.
You're out in 2 days.
I didn't do much research on him, but we're definitely gonna do an episode on him as well. Like
dive more in depth. But he'd been in and out of jail. I think up to this point in '67, he's been in jail for half his life, and then his attorney just got him a deal to get out of jail. Just got him out.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And then even Charles Manson's on record saying that like, I feel like jail's my home. This is like, he's like jail's like my home to me. Like he said that like he either said that like it's on record, so it's like either in a courtroom or like talking to like a prosecutor or something. He said that like jail is like it's like my home.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then like you said, he went in and out of jail. He was a fucking cult leader who did a bunch of drugs, and then obviously if you're a cult leader who does a bunch of drugs, you're getting a bunch of people to do a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
Which makes sense how you were employed for MK Ultra.
In that Chaos book, they talk about too of like how like they believe he used LSD to like the CIA taught him how to use LSD to control other people, which they still claim that they can't do that, but apparently they're saying that they can, fucking what the fuck is the word I'm looking for, dude? Jesus.
For what? What were they trying to do?
Like they claim that they can't do it, but the conspiracy is that they can, and then they taught Charles Manson how to control people with LSD, and that's how he got all this massive cult following.
I've heard that before too. And then that book Chaos by what's his name, Tim O'Brien?
Tim O'Neill, I think.
Tim O'Neill, yes, Tim O'Neill. Yeah, that he also in the book doesn't claim that anything is fact. It's more so just alleged stuff.
Alleged, that's what I was looking for.
But yeah, it does make sense how this dude gets out, is a cult leader, does a shit ton of drugs, including a shit ton of LSD. If you're a cult leader who's doing LSD, you're getting fellas to do LSD.
Yeah, you're getting yeah, easily, dude. There's no way around it.
We did Waco last episode, and this dude convinced every single woman that was a part of his religion to fucking have his child.
Yeah, and there was no drugs there at all.
You can convince him to pop a tab or two.
Yeah, you can. At that point, yeah, dude. If you can convince every woman in your compound to have sex with you,
to bear your child,
your children, yeah, you can do whatever you want, dude. At that point, you have their entire mind.
Yeah,
which I think is kind of like another reason why they wanted him, because they're like he might be like after he was a cult leader type deal. Like they were like,
Well, I mean,
I don't know, maybe he
prison
figured out
people
control
definitely know how
people.
to rally a crowd.
Hmm?
Prison, like if you're in
Yeah,
prison and you
I
were
guess you're
like
right.
you went in for some shit, like you definitely like rally the crowd.
Like you're definitely good with people because like of
You have
the
to be.
environment in there. I agree.
You got like, especially if you're in like a prison like that, like you got some groups you have to join. You can't. There's
Yeah.
no outsiders.
Yeah, it's
Or if you might be an outsider, but you're affiliated with them when it comes to other groups'
like,
opinions.
what happens or whatever, like the jail politics.
Like you
per
have
se.
like the blacks, you have Hispanics, you have the whites, which is the Aryans,
Mhm.
and then you have like a few other niche groups depending on the prison. But like if you're a part of the Aryan Brotherhood, but like you're not in there for anything that has to do with that, you're not cool with those boys, you don't want to align yourself with that. You're white, you're in there. The blacks look at you and they're not like, well, he's cool. They're like, no, he's part of that.
Yeah, he's part of them.
Like
yeah.
it's just like
You have to like
you're
join
part of
that
the group,
type, which
yeah.
is insane to me how that all works. But
it is crazy. I mean,
I've
I'd
heard
like to
yeah.
know about it from the outside, not so much the inside.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to figure that out, to be honest with you. But yeah,
But that's crazy. I mean, that's pretty much the extent of what we know on Charles Manson. We'll definitely dive deeper on him and do an episode eventually about that. But we can talk about a couple of the projects they had before MK Ultra was a thing. Like we can talk about Project Artichoke, which is essentially kind of what MK Ultra was doing, but they were doing a lot more stuff. Like essentially Project Artichoke, their goal was to determine whether a person could be involuntarily made to perform an act of assassination. Like they were working on that stuff, and
almost sounds like JFK, Trump, Charlie Kirk. I mean,
yeah,
everything, every other assassination.
like this is
political.
like, and this isn't just like me speculating. That's what they were like. They might have been trying to like that's
Yeah,
what
that's
is
in-
written factual information
in the
that
documents
they were
that are out.
trying
Like, yeah,
to use LSD and other drugs. Like they were using morphine and LSD to try to get people to do things essentially against their own will, specifically assassination.
Yeah.
And they would also force addictions on people. They'd have certain subjects that might sign up for it. They'd have other just random civilians that they just dose, or I guess they wouldn't be civilians per se, but people that they're like
volunteer or whatever.
well, they'd have their volunteers, but like it's like with like how they're doing it in colleges, which I don't know if they were dosing like Kaczynski in his Harvard class, but like they were a part of like medical institutes and everything. Like there's the Montreal project, which was like I don't know if it was a psychological hospital or something like that, but it was something up in Montreal, Canada, where they were just dosing patients there
Yeah.
with things.
I
So
heard
it could have
about
been a situation like that per se, like if they were at like some sort of
psych ward or
institute or
something like that,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Well, because I've heard as well, like they used like a psych ward or prisons because they were like expendables. That's what they call it. They're like,
They
"Hey,
didn't-
these people don't matter.
they don't
Like we can
care.
do whatever we want with them
They're-
type deal. So,
yeah.
which is insane, but that's apparently what they did. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they would like force addictions on people with morphine and LSD, just see how the addiction matters, test out withdrawal symptoms, everything like
Mhm.
that. And then they also, during Project Artichoke, they would dose like CIA agents, people that would work for the CIA, which is just crazy. And CIA agents they were dosing, they dosed them with LSD for 77 days straight.
just an agent.
A CIA agent, they dosed for 77 days straight.
That's insane, dude. That would screw anybody up.
Bro, you'll never be the same.
I mean, if you do it for like 3 days straight, I feel like it'd fuck you up pretty hard. All right,
We're back.
we're back in this bitch.
So we just pretty much wrapped up talking about Project Artichoke, about how they would try to use LSD and everything and morphine to get people to commit assassinations
Yep.
or everything, dose their own CIA agents, including one of them for 77 days straight.
Which is unreal again.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But the next thing we talk about is the Montreal victims, which happened at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, Canada. And it was under Dr. Donald Ewan, I don't fucking know, Cameron. He was a CIA-funded psychiatrist, and he performed these tasks or projects, whatever, called psychic driving and depatterning. And that involved drug-induced comas, intensive electroshock therapy, and forced listening to looped audio message for hours. Later on, the victims sued the U.S. and Canada's government, and decades later, after they sued them, they were finally compensated.
Jeez.
So,
Pretty insane.
yeah. I'm assuming the Allen Memorial Institute is for people that aren't all there in the head.
Yeah, it's a psych ward, I believe,
It's-
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then this doctor who was funded by the CIA was just drugging them up, shocking their brains, making them listen to audio, like not like just like songs, but like recorded messages for hours on end.
Yeah, I did hear about these. They're saying like it was one where it was like, or was this the same guy who eventually got into the CIA, who ran these experiments? The Montreal Project.
Dr. Donald Ewan Cameron. Maybe I know at the time when he was doing this, he was CIA funded, so like it was funded by the CIA.
Well,
he might have later got in.
I believe actually before he did this, he was doing these before he was funded by the CIA,
Okay.
and then he was playing messages that'd be like, my mother hates me, or things like that, and just like crazy songs on a loop. And it'd be like,
I could see that.
It'd be like that on loop and loop and loop,
That's
and then
what I found. It's like if it's songs, that's one thing that's gonna make somebody go crazy. But if you for 12 hours straight play a thing that's like, my mother hates me.
Yeah.
My mother hates me.
And then you're also tripping LSD. You're going to believe your mom hates you after that.
Yeah.
Like and especially if you do it for a couple days or something like that.
If
like you're going to believe that.
Like
easily.
every other day for 12 hours straight for a month. So 15 out of 30 days for a month, 12 hours straight. You're tripping balls just listening to my mother hates me. My mother hates me. You're fucking. You're gonna believe. You're boned.
You're believing anything somebody tells you at that point, dude. Like it's raps at that point. So I mean, yeah. And then after that, that's when the CIA reached out and was like, "We like what you're doing here. Like, we want to be involved," and then that's when they started funding them. But which is insane how they
just crazy. I mean, them and their, I guess all the victims ended up suing both governments and got paid out decades later.
Yeah,
which I'm assuming. I guess I don't have the year written down. That was probably in 50s or 60s. I'd assume probably 50s and got paid out in like around that 1975 time when other people were getting paid out, and like the whole kind of thing busted open, not wide open obviously, because we still don't have every single thing to this day.
I don't think we ever will, but
no, obviously
let me fix this autofocus on this camera real quick.
Well, that was the Montreal victims. I'd say another thing we can talk about is Project Chatter, which was before MK Ultra. It was in 1947, and a lot of things sounds like we're repeating themselves. We're just talking about different projects that either happened before or during. But Project Chatter was before MK Ultra in 1947, and they were focused on the identification and testing of drugs and interrogation, and also in the recruitments of their own agents. And so they were also the first project that used LSD like heavily. And were, like, so essentially in interrogation purposes, where they would get people high on LSD and then start asking them questions like maybe like, what's your deepest, darkest secret or something like that. Something that like you'd be like, I'm never telling this to anyone. And then when you're tripping, then they also would use it with recruiting their agents as well. So I don't have a whole lot on that, but that's essentially kind of what I had down. And then later
about like again like a main thing with like the learning mind control was to like break like foreign, like if they captured someone from the USSR.
Yeah, because there was alleged things. I mean, these are Cold War times, and during the time there was allegedly China, Russia, and there was one other big person, which obviously the Cold War was like America, Russia largely, but obviously the other big forces in the world were
just like communism versus capitalism type of deal.
Allegedly they were using these kind of things on people that they'd capture from America.
Yeah,
and that's I guess we never even talked about that, but that's kind of the whole reason they were doing these MK Ultra things. I guess we're just now mentioning that.
We probably should have mentioned that a little bit earlier, but that is like the reason behind MK Ultra was because they believed that Russia had mind control. They figured out mind control, so they were like, we have to figure this shit out ASAP, or else they're gonna fuck us over.
So that's why they just started dosing the shit out of anyone they possibly could to try to figure out anything. But yeah, and then obviously like the Project Chatter, Project Artichoke, and Bluebird, which that all led into MK Ultra, which started in 1953. The Project Chatter was 1947, I think. Bluebird and Artichoke were right after that, and like the following years up until 53. So these were kind of just like the Project Chatter, Artichokes were almost just like test projects until like the full blown MK Ultra scheme.
Yeah. Like when they actually started getting all this funding and actually going deep into the mind control experiments, basically. So
and then the other thing, I don't think we've talked about Midnight Climax or Project Midnight Climax yet, but
we have not yet, but we can definitely, we kind of mentioned it a little bit, like the brothels, but
just using prostitutes, but like the whole, that's honestly from everything that I saw. Obviously, if we were to do an entire podcast about MK Ultra, it'd be like 6 hours long.
Yeah, if we were gonna go in depth on every single like project that they did, every single experiment, it would be insanely long. So
these are just like the main points that we're talking about.
Just
obviously, I mean, if
under one
people
umbrella, like
watch this one, they want to comment and say they want a part 2, we'll do a part 2. But for now, we're not gonna go in depth and have this be a 6-hour long podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, Midnight Climax is definitely a big thing that we'll talk about right now, which was this guy Sidney Gottlieb. I don't know how you say his last name, but he was also using interrogation methods and everything like that. He also was working on Project Artichoke and everything, but he got permission to text drugs on unknowing citizens. And how he'd do that is he would have prostitutes lure them back to safe houses or safe apartments. They had these in like San Francisco, New York, LA, just big cities. So they'd have prostitutes lure. They'd go out to a bar, find a dude, lure them back, and then they just have an array of drugs at this place that like they'd be like, oh, you want a drink, and then just dose them with that stuff, and then just like not like throw them in a room and interrogate them, but just start asking them questions while like being flirtatious, having sex with them, everything like that. That was a big thing. So it was like not only the influence of drugs, but also having sex with these men, which like if you get a fella drunk and tell him you're gonna fuck him, he's gonna tell you some wild shit. Throwing a little LSD.
Yeah, you're on LSD and you're having sex. Yeah, you're gonna say whatever they want you to say. Like,
Right.
You're gonna tell them everything. Like,
and like while they were in this safe house and everything, they'd have like one-way mirrors or windows or things that CIA agents would be sitting behind watching all this go down in real time. So it's not even just like cameras rigged up. I mean, obviously this was like the 50s and 60s. They can't just.
I mean,
they had the
everything.
technology,
Yeah.
but they could just easily throw up a one-way mirror and get some dude tripping balls and not think twice about it.
Yeah, I mean, they had a, like I saw as well. They had they said there were so many electronics in these rooms, these apartments they had, that if you spilled a glass of water, you'd probably die of electrocution.
Yeah,
that's how wired these rooms were with everything that they could possibly have. Like, they would drug the men, and then they were just doing experiments to see like if they could actually get whatever they wanted from somebody.
And they did get some crazy, like, I forget that, but like crazy admentations or like, holy shit, I did this one time, or other things like that, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I mean, like that was
could
their
happen
idea.
to anyone.
Could happen to anyone. To be fair, you're not wrong. And I mean, like in the agents as well during this, they were also indulging in LSD and the prostitutes.
They were putting in massive orders. Like they would lure back like 5 guys, but they'd have like fucking countless amounts of drugs.
Yeah,
as well as all these prostitutes. They were CIA hired and paid. They were not approaching these men as prostitutes. They were just approaching these men as like a woman in a bar who's like, oh, you're attractive, dude, come on with me. Yeah, kind of thing. And then also at the same time, all the CIA agents were getting in with the prostitutes. Yeah. Having sex with them. They were doing the drugs as well.
Dropping the linen and getting grinning, you know what I'm saying? That's what they were doing. To put it lightly.
Yeah, they were doing some crazy shit, which, I mean, I guess, is there even like actual like documented reports of like what exactly would go down? Like,
I believe that's kind of what it was, just like luring men
back. But I'm talking like when they
like,
lured men back, and like obviously they had these rooms rigged up and people in there that were like listening in or watching everything and writing things down. Like, those reports aren't out though, from my assumption.
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I think they are because like that's how we know.
Because you know damn well they were sitting behind the mirror like, okay, he just took a sip of the drink that had LSD. All right, 15 minutes later, he said something loopy, maybe like, you know, a CIA agent sitting back there writing that shit down, or they're typing it in the computer. Like, that's 100% what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're writing it down, and like they said that they found. I mean, I believe that these did come out because like majority
of the genuine like reports from like,
I don't know
what was going on in the room.
I don't know.
The prostitute
to be honest
was
with you.
Seducing and drugging him and like asked him all these fucking crazy questions. Like think about it. Like, if a girl fucking gets you back in your apartment, you were out at a bar or something, you get back, you start having some of her drinks, LSD starts hitting you, and she's just like flirting with you, like, what's your deepest, darkest secret? You're gonna be like, I don't know, and then she just keeps fucking flirting with you and everything. Yeah, it's gonna come out.
I think that's kind of like what their whole goal was, and they definitely succeeded in that, of like getting people to say like crazy shit.
I guess I didn't go deep in like finding the reports of certain people, certain things, but I'd be genuinely shocked if like reports of like what was going on in like a
they had like what they wrote down and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought they did because of all the stuff we know about it. I would think,
but we don't know any. Like, maybe you can find a victim's name, or maybe some of the victims that we named were a part of this, but like, there's no way we can find like the genuine like live report
I think we could
or the
definitely look
refined
for it.
or edited report.
We should have looked at that.
We
I guess
should have,
before,
but also that would just add another 20 minutes if we found 3 people's reports.
yeah, it takes so much time to research this as it is. Like it's kind of hard to go in depth on everything. So we're giving
Maybe
you guys
quit
what we
watching the
can.
one fucking dumbass
Yeah.
Pizzagate podcast.
Stop
Watch
watching
a
that
couple.
one and start watching the other ones, and then we'll actually start doing more research. Maybe I don't know.
No,
I'm playing because that's
Spread the
kind of
levels
fucking
a little
pissing me
bit.
off right now, dude. We got
It is kind of pissing me off.
1.6K views on that one, and the one we just dropped was like 30 something.
It was like 30.
What's up with that, guys? Come watch the other one. Why are we not watching that? Why are we only watching Pizzagate? That one was honestly not even that good, and
It was pretty good.
okay, it was good. Yeah, I guess I will say that it was good. I think we did a good job, but at the same time, why is that the only one y'all are watching? Watch the other ones, please.
Shout out our whatever 80 something subscribers though.
88 subscribers right now.
You guys are the shit.
Dude, I
At
really
100 subscribers, Dale's gonna shave his head.
that's not gonna happen, but I will get a haircut.
Short.
Shorter. If we get 1,000 within 30 days, then I will buzz my hair.
If we get
Swear to God, I will do that. I'll get a buzz cut.
if we have 1,000 subscribers by 2026.
Like, what do you mean in 2026?
By 2026, by January 1st, 2026, if we have 1,000 subscribers, you have to buzz your head.
All right, yeah, and we do it on the podcast.
Yeah, it's like 2 months.
Yeah. All right.
Like 2 months and a week.
2 months in a week, I will shave my head if we get 1,000 subscribers.
Bet.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Deal.
I don't lose anything. I was just waiting for you to go, well, what if we don't? Then what do you have to do? But we already shook, so it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I mean, let's go back to that thing.
We already shook.
Okay,
It's
all right,
over.
fair. All right, that's cool with me. All right,
Okay,
that's cool.
bet.
That's cool.
Bet.
All right.
At 10,000, I'll shave mine.
No, at 10,000, you have to get an SA tattoo.
No.
What would it take? 100K
At 100K, I'll get an SIA tattoo.
on your chest?
No.
Where'd you get that?
Upper thigh.
Lower. It has to be on your calf.
No.
Why?
Buddy,
Who the fuck
you
sees
shave your
calf?
hair, it's back in 3 months.
All
All
right,
right,
okay,
tattoo on
okay,
my
that's fair,
fucking
that's
calf,
fair.
it's there forever.
That's fair. 100K is a good amount of people. Though.
If you pay me $100,000, I'll put it on my fucking
No, dude. All right, okay. SIA tattoo on your thigh, but it has to be like above your knee. And just say
it's gonna be like up here.
some pussy shit. But okay, let's say
Okay, well then let's like
right.
100K. We'll both get an SIA tattoo somewhere. We'll like
All
find
right.
a good
We'll-
drawing and then put it somewhere good.
we'll get just the letters SIA on our thighs.
Okay, I'm only scared to like put SIA somewhere else in my body that's visible because some people, I don't know if that means something else to other people. And
Okay,
I'd
that's
rather
true.
not-
That's true. Actually, that's fair. But
I'd rather not
okay,
fuck
all right,
around and
all right.
find out in
all right.
that area of life.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
All
do
right.
that enough.
Well, we'll still get SIA tattoos at 100K subscribers. In.
Yeah, we'll come up with like a something good
Something.
at 100K for sure. At
For sure,
100K
yeah.
subscribers, we'll get a silver plaque.
Yeah.
So
we'll
yeah,
put it up
we'll
on the
get-
wall right
yeah.
here. That'd be
So
fucking sick.
yeah, well, at 100K, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
But 1,000 subscribers by 2026. Dale's shaving his head.
Yes.
I already shook on it. It's
We
already
already shook
deal.
on it.
It's in audio recording, and we shook on it. So
Yeah. It's a done deal at this point.
lock
if we
the
get it.
fuck in, fellas. No. Okay, so that's Midnight Climax. Where are we going from there, Dale? You take the reins.
Let's get back into I guess that's
That's kind of all the stuff we had planned out for the episode.
yeah. I guess I say we go into like the releasing the Frank Olsen story.
Yes.
And then his son. I think that's probably the best
we can
way to
talk
go about that.
and then just a little bit of the releasing of the
Yeah,
documents.
because that's kind of like the next thing. That's kind of like the main gist is.
Also, let me bring this up as well as we talked about how Cold War and how other countries kind of influence America to do these things. Also, back in like the 40s during Nazi Germany,
Oh yeah.
they were doing tests with, I mean, meth was very prevalent within the Nazis. So they were like drugging people and almost torturing and interrogating people to kind of get this stuff out, which is another whole thing. Like we can do an episode on World War II and like, or not even just World War II in general. That'll take fucking forever. But just like inside what the Nazis and like their interrogation methods or everything else, like concentration camps, because they were doing things like this where they were racially studying people, mentally studying people, and everything like that, and how like every country knew that that was going on, And they
Yeah.
kind of just let it slide for a little bit. Like, well, Loki, let's see what information they get first. Like, let's not.
I mean, it's that and like a
let's
lot.
save ourselves some work and
Yeah.
just peer review this thing. But
Peer review the Nazi Germany.
that's what they were
scientists.
doing.
I know. That's
That's
what's crazy.
exactly what they were
It's
doing.
that, and then after that, we also hired a ton of them. After World
We
War
did.
II, and be like, hey, instead of
What
going
was
to
that
jail,
one fucking dude. Oh shit, I forget his name. That doesn't matter. I'm not gonna try to say it.
like NASA hired a ton.
Yes, that was the dude. The
um,
NASA dude that sent up the fucking
moon rocket.
the moon rocket.
Yeah, he was
He
in
was,
Nazi Germany. I don't know his name either. I totally forget,
he was a Nazi from Nazi Germany, and some FBI director at some point was like, if he was alive to this day, he would be in jail forever, or he would
yeah, this
be
is what
put
they
on
said.
death row.
Which should have already had that happen. But at the same
I
time,
guess he sent people to the moon.
if
the
that's real,
moon.
if that's real or not, which will be another episode for sure.
The moon.
The moon landing type shit.
Not the
but
moon landing. The
The
moon.
moon. You don't believe in the moon?
No, obviously I believe in the moon. But yeah,
All right, let's get into this.
But-
Frank. I almost said Frank Ocean again, dude.
kind of the payouts aftermath of what happened once MK Ultra was done, and all the documents were starting to get released.
Yeah. So I mean, they say that after 1975, I believe this all came out,
Yes.
is when they decided to stop MK Ultra because they said that, all right, the only thing we're doing is frying people's brains. We're screwing them over for life.
The Rockefeller Commission was
Yeah.
the like overall. What were they part of?
It was Gerald Ford, the president at the time.
Okay, yeah.
And then the Rockefeller that's his last name at the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
And they were wanted to go into in depth on what the CIA was doing and seeing everything. And then they they found out about MK Ultra through other people who had talked about it. They had the church committee actually go on to the CIA and look at what they were doing, but the Rockefeller was kind of the overhead of.
They were the overhead that were looking at all the CIA, and then specifically the church committee was looking into the MK Ultra
Yeah.
study, because obviously the CIA didn't have everyone on MK Ultra. They were doing a bunch of array of bullshit.
They were
that
overthrowing
they had to
countries.
kill a
and-
president for.
Yeah,
But that's besides the point.
another episode. But so after they released these files and they talked about it, there was like 4 news articles that were posted the day after everything happened, and in one of them it talked about a ex-army officer, special forces, who was involved in was it microbiome? What did he do again?
It was
I don't know the word. Bacterial.
bacteriologist for the U.S. Army Biological Warfare Laboratories.
Yeah, so he was doing a ton. He was doing a ton of like chemical research, drugs, and like different poisons and such. And that's what they said in the document. They said that he was dosed with LSD, and when he was high off LSD or tripping up off LSD, whatever you want to call it, he was jumped or fell from a window.
It's what we talked about
what they
earlier. The
said.
dude that jumped out the window and then had later autopsies.
Frank
He had
Olson.
the CIA dude in the room, whatever. But this is about his son.
Yeah, so so when it all went down, his son already had weird thoughts. He was like 8 years old at the time, and it kind of consumed his life that his father had died in such mysterious ways. So after this all happened, he read this report in the news, and he was like, "That sounds exactly like my father, except they never said that he was on LSD. They said
This
he
is
had
what,
an anxiety
22
attack."
years later? So the
Yeah.
kid was 30 years old
like
at this point.
31
His
years
entire
old.
life, he was like, why the fuck? There's no way my dad just killed himself.
Yeah, exactly. He was like on the story too is like he was going to have Thanksgiving dinner with his family. He was on his way home for Thanksgiving, and that's when he died. So it definitely messed this kid up pretty bad. This Eric Olson guy. There's actually was a documentary on Netflix called I think it was on Netflix called Wormwood. I don't know if you ever saw that, but
I never
it's
saw it.
pretty good. I liked it, but it talked all about this whole story, and in it he was it kind of consumed his life. He read this article in the news. He was like, "That's not right." So his whole family lawyered up, and they were going to sue the CIA over this. They eventually settled for $750,000 at 1975, which I don't know. What do you think that'd be today?
$750K in 1975. So 50 years later,
Yeah,
had to be at least double. So 1.5. I'd say it's probably
I'm saying today, 2025, 4.5.
4.5 million. So you're saying like tripled,
I'm saying 4.5 million. Yeah.
or 750K? That's over tripling. That's like a 6x. I'd say it was probably like 750K. That's at least double to 1.5. 3x maybe. I'd say maybe 2.5, 2.4. 2.4 million is my guess.
Okay. So 1970. I'm gonna look it up real quick. We're gonna see who got closer.
750K in 1975 versus now. I'd say it's probably 2.4 million.
4.5 million.
Okay, you looked it up. That's fine.
4.5 million. You guys can't see it, but
No, it's all good. You looked it up.
yeah, I looked it up. I already said it before. I said before I looked it up. I said 4.2 million.
Yeah,
and it was
you-
4.5.
There's no way you just off the rim. 4.5 million.
I said 4.2 million is what I said.
You,
We'll play it back. I said 4.2 million. When I
Whatever.
looked it up, it said 4. It was
subscribe.
4.5.
Shave this dude's head.
Fuck you. All right, but that's what happened with that. Because instead of suing them, they realized that the CIA government was like, if they sue us, we have to produce a bunch of damning documents that are going to kind of screw us over pretty hard.
It's pretty much like every white collar suing over big organizations where a terrible disaster happens. They're like, you either have to give us a shitload of money or you have to admit to doing these things.
Yeah, and they're like,
and every single time it's here's a bunch of money.
here's money, buddy.
Like if you ever watch the TV show, which isn't like true at all, it's called Suits. A lot of the shit they did was like, oh, they had a trained company that caused 8 people to die. And they were like, no, you have to admit to it. They're like, we're not admitting shit. Like, that's never going to happen. Which, obviously, that's a fucking TV show and it's all fiction. But that is generally true.
Based
what
on
happens
a lot of real life
to
stuff.
these days, these big-ass companies are not going to say, yeah, we killed 8 people because we were trying to do something.
Yeah.
And guess what? It didn't work out either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of with
So it's
MK
like
Ultra.
they just pay out a shit ton of money.
Yeah, they gave him a ton of money for that, and then after that, in 2002, all the documents, or at least what we know, is all the documents released to the public. You can find it on the CIA's website. I looked at some of
It's
them
not
before.
all of them, though. Was it? Because I know...
They say it's all of them. I believe a lot of them were also destroyed as well.
Apparently, in 1975, when the Church Committee came out with all this stuff, the investigation was hampered because CIA Director Richard Helm at the time ordered for all the documents to be destroyed in 1973, right as MK Ultra ended.
Yeah, but I believe they still had a bunch.
Yeah, well, I
that
doubt
they
they
released.
destroyed all of them, but
Yeah, but there's still a ton that got released,
the
and you can find
damning
on the website.
footage and
But
documents.
the footage, documents, whatever, is definitely not out. But I mean, there still was a congressional hearing about it. So I mean, it was a real thing. MK Ultra is
Yes.
110% real. So it's like you can't say anything else about it. But I mean, yeah. I know we're kind of all over the place with this one, but at the same time, giving you guys good information. Teaching
Welcome to
people
the
that-
SIA. Is
Yeah.
what we're gonna say.
Exactly. Damn straight. So that right there is MK Ultra.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And we're live.
Welcome to the SIA.
We're on a mission into the bullshittery of the podcast.
The fun part, if you want to say.
Yeah, we were just talking about the New York City mayoral.
Mayoral.
I don't know what the fuck.
I think it's mayoral, right?
Mayoral pronunciation.
I think-
Tomato.
I think you're saying it wrong. Mayoral.
God, you always trying to make everything a competition. No, but we were just talking about that. Mandami, Cuomo, and Sliwa.
Curtis Sliwa. That's how you say his
It's
name.
Sliwa. It sounds like Sliwa. If it's
Sliwa.
not Sliwa, then however he pronounces it is probably wrong. But what were you gonna say about? You were telling me something about Sliwa,
So
though.
I was talking about this whole NYC mayoral debate and mayoral situation. Which, to be honest with you, I don't give a two flying fucks about who wins this thing. Because I don't live in New York City, and I never will, because it is a shit city. Whoever runs it, it's
I
it's
know.
how it
Well,
is.
let's not. If we get rich as balls and can buy $100 million penthouse, just
All right, okay,
'cause.
that's fair. That's fair. Well, I'll play this video back, and you guys can make memes out of it, of me sitting in a penthouse in New York City if I get rich as fuck and buy a New York
and then
City
there's the
penthouse.
flip side where we're fucking recording out of a trailer.
Yeah, the flip side where we're fucking just doing nothing with our lives.
We're-
So, but I think the upside is
I'd
definitely.
take the under, boys. Bet that we're gonna get the fucking penthouse.
Damn straight. But so we were talking about this, and I really don't care who wins again because I don't live there.
No, we
but
don't give a fuck. But it's
I don't care.
interesting to just follow along.
It is, but like I think it's funny how like all these like what do you want to call it? Like all these like major news stations are just pushing this rhetoric about like, oh, we're anti this, we're anti this candidate or whatever, and it's like, who really cares? And like so many people who don't even live in New York City are so fired up about it for no goddamn reason, and I don't understand it. But just sidetrack from that. We were talking about Curtis Sliwa, who is, in my opinion, I don't know any of his politics. I think he might be Republican, which I don't consider myself
There's no
Republican.
chance he's winning.
Yeah, it's New York City. He's not going to win that. But I don't consider myself either way. But he's kind of the man. So I was
I don't know
watching.
shit about him. He wears that red hat.
The red hat's kind of
Is
sick.
that just like a fashion piece, or is there like a religious or something?
I don't think it's religious. I think it's something to do with like army something.
Okay, well that's sick.
But that's what I was like.
If it's like army or just like I fuck with the hat, then that's kind of sick.
That's what I'm saying. It's
That's
kind
kinda
of
sick.
It's kind of sick. He's
not
like
to discredit
who
it
else is doing that?
if it's for a religion, but if you're rocking a hat like that just by like I fuck with the hat.
The hat looks sick. I like red.
It's a little bit cooler than like this is my religion.
Not
Not to shade any religion. But.
Not to shade anything, but if you got like, I agree with you. I agree with you on this. But so like this is how like these debates go with these three people. So you have the moderator. He's like, all right, so what is your favorite New York City pizza place? And Como's like, I like Domino's.
So was that really a question?
I don't know if it was really a question.
Just
I'm just kind of doing like a bit right now.
Well, if Cuomo said Domino's, then he's not it.
I'm yeah, damn straight. But like, so I'm just saying like, let's just go with this.
A little
Like
neighborhood joint called Domino's.
Yeah. but let's just say this. So he's like, all right, what's your favorite pizza place in New York City? Which is a big thing because New York City is known for their pizza.
Borrow.
Pizza is fired. The New York City. Have you ever had a New York City pizza?
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Fantastic.
It's amazing. It's the best you've ever had, probably, or one of the best in my opinion.
It's great. Yeah.
It's amazing. So I'm just saying. So I'm like, all right, what's your favorite pizza? He's like, Domino's. And then Mondami's like, I like this bodega on 49th Street. They have 5 customers every single year type shit. That's what he says. And then I go to Curtis Sewell and he's like, well, you know, back in 1985, I was shot 5 times in the head and I survived. And like every single time he's got to bring up about how he was fucking shot. Like this dude is the man though, because he used to run this thing called the Guardian Angels, all right? And he would go out in the streets of New York City and literally beat the fuck out of drug dealers.
Guardian Angels, was that not a cult? It was a biker cult or a biker gang, no?
No, that's the Hells Angels. Similar name.
Yes. I think
Hells
there's something else that was called the Guardian Angels that I believe had something to do with like a biking cult or some shit.
Not his at least, but he started this thing called Guardian Angels, all right? And then he goes around into like the worst hoods in New York City and just beats the fuck out of drug dealers, mob members. He had the Gambino and the what's the other?
He's just like a fucking.
He was like a vigilante, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
in
like
like
a
the 80s.
vigilante.
In the 80s, just beating the fuck out of people.
Dude, this is the man.
He's kind of sick. Like there would be the crack epidemic in the 80s. He would go around, beat up drug dealers and destroy the drugs in front of them in the whole hood and be like, if we see this shit again, we're gonna keep doing this.
How is he doing this though, bro? He had to have a squadron with
Yeah,
him.
he had a whole bunch of people. They started from like really small. They would go to like subway
Take
stations.
off like a corner dude.
Kind
And
of. It was like
you're taking up the block.
basically, yeah. So it was like literally him going like in the subways with like a couple other people.
Bro, they need
They
to make
beat
a
the fuck out of
fucking-
these criminals in the subways, and then
Bro.
they would go into, and eventually he had like hundreds of people following
That'd
him.
be a fire TV show.
It would be, dude.
Following some dude who's like, first step, he's just beating up the dude who's selling newspapers with a gram of weed in him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Yeah.
fucking 6 seasons later, he's like jumping into the projects, fucking busting a whole
just
floor.
busting whole drug things, and so eventually, like the Gambinos and I can't think of the other name of the mobs in New York City at the time.
the mafias.
Yeah, the mafias. They hated him because they kind of ran all the drug stuff,
Right.
all the drug trade and everything in New York City. But he had both crime families who were rivals trying to kill each other. Both trying to kill him at the same exact time, and he was shot by both.
Bro,
of them.
this is
and he
literally would be the
survived
best.
both.
Dude, this would be a Netflix #1
Yeah.
out of the top 10 for literally like 3 months straight.
I don't know how they haven't made anything on this dude because he's kind of cool.
That's
as fuck.
gnarly.
But it's just funny because every single time he's in the debate, they're talking about like cabs or whatever, and he was like, "Well, you know, back in '85, I was shot in the cab once. I was shot 3 times in the chest,
How
and
many
I
times has
survived."
dude been shot?
I don't know, fuck ton of times. So many different people want him dead, and nobody's been able to kill him. Like people think 50 Cent's cool because he like, you know, he made songs like
dude,
Many Men.
Yeah, but he got shot like fucking 18 times.
Yeah, but imagine that, but like.
But
on
like,
separate
dude, when you
occasions,
think
dude.
of somebody who got shot 18 times and survived, you're like, oh, he's in a wheelchair. He probably is non-functional. Can't
Yeah.
talk. 50 Cent's fucking
He's-
jacked.
he's jacked. He's been in the rap
But,
game
like,
forever.
think about it though. Imagine like if he wasn't jacked and then was in a wheelchair, he would not be 50
No.
Cent.
He wouldn't be 50 Cent at all. I
He'd
agree.
be fucking 1 penny, bro. Like that dude, you would not have matched the things that
Maybe
he did.
1 penny is fried.
Dude, his ass would not have been. But
No,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, but this dude has just been shot. So many like criminal organizations hate
He's
this
kind
guy.
of a baller. I did not know about all that.
Yeah, he's
I've
the
only
man.
seen like the Cuomo Mandami like back and forth arguments where Cuomo was pretty much like, this dude has literally never worked a job. He's never done any like. Which, like, technically is not wrong. Like, Mandami, I mean, I guess I don't know a whole lot, but if you're going to sit on stage and say you've never accomplished anything or never worked a job or anything, I'm assuming he's not full online. Otherwise, Mandami would just immediately be like, well, I did this, and this.
Yeah.
But then Mandami came back with just, like, well, Mandami's obviously younger than Cuomo. Cuomo is being a politician. Mandami was more just, like, chirping him. Like,
Yeah.
well, what the fuck have you done? Like,
Yeah.
you suck. You said this and this, that, and the other. But it's like, Cuomo's a lifelong politician. Obviously, he said millions of lies. Mandami, his lies hasn't came to fruition yet with his, let's release everyone from jail. Let's make all buses free and make all grocery stores free. And then that's going to lower the crime. For sure. But
it'll lower the rate of people in prison because there's nobody in there. If he's releasing everybody.
Yeah, that's like saying if we lowered the drinking age, there'd be less underage drinking.
Exactly. Literally, bro. Like, yeah.
If you allowed drunk driving to be illegal, no one would get a DUI.
If we made murder legal, there'd be no murderers in America. Like, that's kind of what you're saying here. Which,
but I can understand why he's grabbing the youth in the sense, because there's a shit ton of people in New York City that work these jobs, and like they have like 2 jobs at 2 fast food restaurants, and they're barely getting by. And so they're like, fuck, this dude's going to give us more money. He's going to tax these people more. So, like, if I'm one of those people, I'm like, okay, well, this sounds good. But let's also, like, maybe take a step back, look at yourself, the situation you're in. Maybe leave the most expensive city in America, or one of. I guess L.A. might be a little more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, New York City is so overpriced. It's expensive.
Dude, people go apartment poor there.
Yeah.
Like, you can if you're making $100,000 a year in New York City and you have, like, a 1-bedroom apartment, you're spending, like, probably at least a quarter of that on your apartment a year.
Yeah, easily. Which is unreal to me.
Which is, like, that's apartment poor as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like you're building no equity. You're just dumping it right into the landlord's pocket.
Well, I mean, you're not going to buy a house in New York unless you're, like... No. If you do,
unless you're Andrew Cuomo or something like that. You
crazy
can,
millions of dollars, or you're outside the city.
Yeah, or like you mentioned, like, I don't know. New York City is cool. I like visiting there.
It's awesome, dude. It's going there for city. Like a weekend trip, a little 3-4 day trip. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is sick. It's
great
really sick.
Great food, great time, place to be, great sightseeing.
Yeah,
every store you could possibly
pretty beautiful
imagine.
there.
You'll see the craziest shit. Good.
So much history.
Also very bad. A lot of history, but I mean,
the streets do smell like shit.
It smells like shit,
piss,
weed,
and hot dogs.
Street meat.
Yeah.
Literally shit, piss, weed, or street meat.
Yeah.
No matter where you go.
Yeah, it's exactly it. And then, like, the subway. I mean, the subway's cool, but, like, you'll, like, the first time I rode the subway, there was a homeless dude.
I never went on the subway.
You didn't ride the subway when you went there? Dude.
Well, it was, like, me, my brother. I was in probably 6th or 7th grade. My brother was in, like, 8th grade or freshman year. And then we were with another family that had, like somewhat younger kids. And they were like, well, man, we don't have to. Like, the subway's obviously, it's a cool place. Like, obviously, now if I went there, I'd hop on it.
Yeah, you have to see how it is.
I think my parents are more so like,
let's not do this right now, maybe, because it's interesting.
Let's take the safe bet, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It is pretty sketchy.
But we did, like, the tourist shit and like, we went to, like, Ellis Island, which I don't know if I talked about this before in here. We went to, like, Ellis Island, and we found my great-grandfather. He was from Hungary, and then he came here, so we got all of his documents. He was 16 at the time. He said he was 19, so he could come over here. It got administered through Ellis Island. We toured the whole place, the place you would have came through and walked through. So that was dope. Obviously, that's a tourist thing, but for somebody who wants to go find out, like,
where my family came from type thing. I think, like, the majority of people came through Ellis Island. Anyway. It's like how you came through it back at the time.
At that time, yeah. Now you can just fucking walk across that bitch. Well, not now.
Yeah, not now anymore, but yeah. Now if you look any other...
Now you can just fucking hit the shore and go, land ho!
Yeah.
I'm going to build it right here.
It's crazy.
And then the government's going to build it for you. No.
Yeah, but the subway, the first time I ever rode it, there was a homeless dude doing handstands on the door.
That's kind of cool.
And he was, like, tweaking the fuck out.
I mean, like I said, I was probably 6th or 7th grade at the time. We were just walking down the street, and there was some completely butt-ass naked dude off so many drugs just walking down the street.
Yeah.
Like, 3 p.m., there's thousands. There's like millions of people there, but I'm talking, like, you look around, there's people everywhere, and there's just this dude, like, orange, like, matted, blonde, like, orange dyed hair, matted as shit, just walking around, like, pacing back and forth. Like, butt-ass naked shit, like, I'm talking completely naked.
And the crazy is, like, people who live there, like, it's like, oh, yes, this is Jerry.
Yeah, they're just like,
it's normal.
Just don't fucking make eye contact.
Yeah, just don't fucking look at the dude, bro.
No, but when you were talking about the Sliwa shit and you brought up mobs, did you see all the arrests that happened in the NBA yesterday morning?
I did not see that, no.
So the Raptors head coach I forget his name. His last name's like Dubis or some shit like that. Look it up real quick. But the Raptors, I believe it's the Raptors head coach as well as Miami Heat, Terry Rozier. They got arrested for gambling. Allegedly, Terry Rozier he got arrested because a shit ton of bets were placed on his under for, I think, points in a game. And then 9 minutes in, he got like an ankle injury. That's not him. Okay, so it's not. Look up NBA arrest. So it's not the Toronto Raptors head coach. I thought it was. That's Terry Rozier. Chauncey Douglas. That was his name.
Yeah, that's him.
Is he the Heat coach?
Fuck you.
Agree, bro. CNN just
Dude,
has all your information.
Dude, they just want all my cookies. If it would fucking click, that'd be nice.
All right, well.
All right, there we go. All right.
What's his name? Chauncey Douglas and Terry Rozier. Trailblazers. Portland, sorry,
Yes.
not Toronto. Portland Trailblazers. He got arrested for allegedly being in a gambling ring with the mob, like a poker gambling ring with the mob.
Really?
Yeah. Like the FBI arrested him Thursday
For
morning because allegedly he was in a poker gambling with the mob. Terry Rozier got arrested because it dated back to a game where, like I said, a shit ton of bets were placed on his under. And then 9 minutes into the game, he left with an ankle injury or a foot injury, something like that. And allegedly, I saw a few headlines. I didn't read the articles or anything. I don't know how true it is, but allegedly, like shortly after that, like 200 grand was like taken to his door. Like
Really?
there's like that's what the headline said. So I don't know if it was like reading camera footage, other people's footage, or everything. But like I don't know why that dude was making over $1 million a year, millions of dollars a year. I look up his contract. He was probably making fucking $5 million a year. I don't know why the fuck he needed 200 grand, but that could speculate you to further points like maybe he was in debt with some people.
Yeah, like with the mob.
And they were like, "Yeah, you got to do it." Well, I don't know if his is mob ties.
Okay.
The Chauncey Douglas dude, they said he was allegedly in a gambling ring that has mob ties.
4 year. What is that?
4-year, $96 million. So there's no way that's true. That says $96 million. Average salary of 2 point. Okay, wait. He's making 24. Okay. So
What the fuck? Dude,
he's
yeah,
made $160 million in his career, and he threw it away for 200 grand from the headlines I read. Now that just makes me think this dude had to have been in debt to some people,
Yeah, something happened and he was in debt to like.
and they were like, "Yo, we're gonna put so much money on this under, and you have to do this."
Yeah. Or
That's
like,
what make the most sense.
It could have been something like with like, we'll kill you or hurt your family or some shit like that, maybe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
Yeah.
owe us money. Fucking, either do you have it to give to us, and maybe, I don't know, maybe he's like, I'm not doing that shit or something like that, and they like, I don't know. I mean, that's obviously crazy shit.
Speculation.
But to
type shit.
fucking throw away your entire NBA, he was a good player.
Yeah.
He just recently, VJ Edcombe scored 35 points in his NBA debut. The second highest person who held that leadership or held that accolade before him, literally until yesterday or 2 days ago, was Terry Rozier. So he was a fucking baller.
Yeah.
And he just threw that shit away for
Threw away for 100.
which I guess we'll see the full story comes out. We'll see what happens with that. Or I don't know if we'll mention it again here, but that's fucking crazy. Though.
It's pretty insane how that happened.
There's
dude.
also this dude, Malik, fucking look him up. He's a Charlotte Hornet player, Malik something, who has been getting investigated for a while. I forget his last name. I'm stupid. It's something so obvious. I know it. Malik Monk. Two players who have been associated with Okay, I don't know if it's either of them. I might be wrong on the name. But he's also getting investigated for shit. And I was just seeing memes where he's like, fucking, whatever his name is, looking at reels or looking on Instagram of him getting fucking arrested. And he's why the fuck are these players gambling, bro?
Dude, like, why are
No,
they?
I get like the gambling. Like if you like to play blackjack or you like poker or whatever, well, maybe don't get involved with the mafia or the mob.
Yeah, especially like
Illegal
NBA
poker
player,
rings,
like you
but,
know,
like,
like, hey, we can make.
If you're a
fuck ton of
famous
money.
ass NBA player, you could walk into any casino in America and go, "Yo, send me to a high roller table," and then you can just easily gamble.
Yeah,
If you gamble all
easily.
your money away and you go broke, but you don't do anything illegal, sucks to suck. Why the fuck are you?
Do it with the mob, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like the thrill of it. They're like sitting the whole time like, dude, Curtis could come at any moment and kill us. Like, dude, Curtis could murk our ass right now and we fucked.
He's my new idol.
I might get a Curtis.
Should we get a couple hats?
We should get some.
He
of those
should
hats.
make those hats.
Dude, he should with like his name on it or some shit, like Curtis 2020.
Nah, those are probably expensive hats.
I bet we can get them. Maybe if we have him on next episode.
That makes
that's
sense. You know
cool.
what's funny is Newsom just copying Trump.
Newsom has
Just
been
talking
copying the
shit,
fuck out of Trump, dude.
all caps. And then I saw it whenever.
It's because it works. It works.
It doesn't though. He just looks like a fucking
Yeah,
joke.
I know, but I'm
it
saying-
works
but
for engagement purposes.
I'm saying like it worked for Trump. So he's
Yeah,
he's
but,
like,
like,
all right, maybe it'll work for me because I think it's gonna be
engagement
Newsom.
purpose wise, it's working. But, the engagements are like comments going like, "Bro, why you copying Trump?"
Yeah, but like people also the amount of hate comments Trump has and had when he was running, even 2016.
It's 100% less than Newsom.
I disagree. You had the entire
Okay,
Democratic Party.
okay. I guess we're talking number wise. It's definitely more than Newsom, but I'm talking like percentage wise. Like if you took a poll of everybody in America right now, well, let's not say right now, but like before Trump got to presidency,
In like 2015 or whatever.
no, even like 2024, like when the day before he got elected or on election day, if you said amount of people that like Newsom in the country, not I guess he's only California's governor, but if we were just for hypothetical purposes, if you were to take a poll of everybody in the country, do you like Gavin Newsom, yes or no? I think it would be more no than do you like Donald Trump, yes or no? The dude's a fucking spode.
I guess, but at the same time, like you have. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what that would be.
He's also a spode, but I was listening to fucking
But people on the
Rogan
left
had
like him a
Schultz
lot.
on for his podcast, and then Schultz was bringing up about how Gavin was like, I want to come on Joe Rogan. And then, like, he probably has his shit booked out for like a month or two. And maybe, he probably would have eventually done it. But then he was pretty much saying, no, I'm not doing it anymore because fucking Newsom was like on his Twitter calling, like, he was like the little man Joe Rogan in his podcast room. And it's like,
You know, Gavin Newsom has his own podcast,
yeah.
which is like.
I haven't listened to
sucks.
it, but I think it's funny. Like, calling Joe Rogan a little man is funny if you're like a comedian and making a joke out of it. But
Yeah,
like,
or like you're friends with him or some shit like that. But like if you
that
don't know
dude
the
would
dude-
kill you though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Though.
Yeah,
He
Joe
might
Ro-
be
dude.
short and he might be small, but he'd fucking kill you.
Yeah, easily.
If you had 4 6-foot, 200-pound people, fucking that had never fought or anything before versus Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's he's literally been fucking fighting for what?
He's jacked.
30
At
plus
that
years.
point too, it doesn't even matter how like
I ain't even trying
height-wise-
to. That's the thing is, I'm not even trying to glaze
No.
Rogan percents, but anybody who is like Rogan in his size would fuck
Yeah.
up
Anybody, dude.
Anybody who
Like-
has that much knowledge and training in fighting, and especially not even just like boxing, but jujitsu and martial arts, like you're
Yeah,
gonna
in
fuck
general,
somebody
like
up.
yeah, he's gonna.
So not even to
yeah.
like just glaze Rogan per se, but like anybody.
I mean, like I think like prime like Jim Jones or whatever. You'd definitely
John
beat
Jones. Well,
John
obviously
Jones.
John Jones.
John Jones would beat the fuck out of him.
Any
But I'm
UFC
saying,
fighter would beat the shit out
Yeah.
of Rogan. But if you're some fucking
if you're Gavin
the
Newsom,
governor of California,
hanging out with
I
Bill
would
Clinton,
take
bro.
my
like-
odds against him, bro. Give me literally 1 week, not 1 week. We'll say 3 weeks of good training. I'd knock him out.
Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
I think I could do this shit with no training.
Yeah, but
Let's get him
I
on the
think
pod,
I'd be down, but I think the problem is I think Gavin Newsom's like 6 foot, like 200 pounds.
dude.
I'm,
Just
like,
you
5'8",
fucking you
145.
kneecap him, bro. You fucking hit him in the
Well, yeah,
knees,
but
knock
we're,
his ass
we're
down.
talking like legal, clean fight,
All right.
getting in the octagon.
Legal clean fight in the octagon. I think
He's old,
he's old, dude. That's what I'm saying. He's old. He's
Yeah.
skinny.
but he's so
He's.
much bigger than me though. Like you're
I'm not
you
that
could
much
whoop
taller
his
than you.
ass easily.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not-
obviously, yeah, but like
but I guess I'm
he's even
stature. I
I
have
don't know
more
how big,
muscle.
I don't,
I
how
guess-
tall is. Let's look this up.
It's funny we went from MK Ultra to talk about if we could beat Gavin Newsom.
You never know.
Never know with the SI, man.
Height and weight. He's 6'3", bro. Like that's crazy.
That's pretty tall. How? Why is he for
His
IMBD, dog?
weight's probably not up there. But if we're saying he's 6'3", he doesn't look like a twig. He's also not full. So 6'3", I mean, we gotta say he's 200 pounds, right?
Hold on, I'm at Gavin Newsom.
6'3", dude. That's tall, bro.
Dude, I could beat the fuck out of this guy, dude.
No, I believe you could, but you gotta think about how tall are you?
I don't know, like 5'11".
Yeah, exactly. So I'm 3 inches shorter than you. You're 4. This dude, he has a whole head on me. Think about reach. Think about weight.
Yeah, but I'm saying, think about age.
That's not to
as
say
well.
that I couldn't beat his ass, but
It'd be a good fight.
really,
This is
you
him,
think it'd be
Dude, dude, that pay-per-view would go crazy. I'd pay as much money as I fucking had to watch that you fight Gavin Newsom. Look at him. He's built like a fucking twig, dude. There's no.
twigged out?
He's pretty twigged out. Look at this motherfucker, dude. He's built like a bird.
He's lanky.
Yeah, so he's got the reach on you. He's got the height on
100%.
you. But at the same
He
time,
has weight too, 100%. You can't be 6 unless he's a fucking skin and bones. And then
He's not
even
like-
if he was skin and bones, he'd be like my weight.
he's not skin and bones. So I
How
think
old is he? Look up his age. I don't. He can't be like over than like mid 50s at most. Age.
I don't know how to give.
58. Okay,
Dude.
that's what I thought. He looks pretty good at 58. I'll say that. But
Yeah, it's the baby blood.
I'd beat his ass.
I think so.
I'm saying it now.
I'm saying it now. I think
Write
you
it
could
down.
too. Write it
I would
down.
beat Gavin Newsom's ass.
100
In the ring, 5 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. Round 3 knockout.
Lando all the way. All right, 100,000 subscriber special. We're gonna beat the fuck out of Gavin Newsom.
That's a joke. We're not threatening any.
Yeah, this is not a threat. We're not gonna go jump Gavin Newsom. We're not threatening any violence
What
against
if
anybody.
when we do hit 100,000 subscribers, he agrees to get in the ring with me or the octagon. I'm 100% there, gonna be there.
And
Dale's gonna be in the
yes,
corner.
I'll be the corner. I'll be the coach. I'll be just like Rocky. And he's gonna win.
I'm sorry to anybody who pays for the pay-per-view and it's over in 15 seconds once I knock his bitch ass out. But I'm joking. But
I wish copyright wasn't a thing. We could play that song over like the outro of this.
what?
The Rocky song.
Oh.
We could sing it.
I think we just ended out by chugging some beers.
All right. Thank you guys for watching this. If you watched it all the way, comment down below. Comment down below if you think we could beat Gavin Newsom's ass if you watch this video all the way, please. And thank you. So we know who actually watched it. If this only gets 30 views, I will kill myself tonight.
No, he won't.
Yeah,
I will kill him.
I think it's 30 views. It's gonna suck. But if this does
No,
good,
but-
like Pizzagate, and does 1.5K views again, or 1.6, whatever it's at right now, maybe it gets more than that.
Hey,
Comment down below.
I
if you
fuck with
watch all
people
the way.
leaving the comments about the video. Also, like, leave if you like want some shit that you want us to talk about, or like do a part 2 of, fucking MK Ultra or anything else, whatever.
Like if you have other topics you want us to talk about and do pods
Because
on.
we have a bunch of ideas as well that we're gonna
Yeah.
do. But if there's people, if we see people commenting, yo, we want to hear this, and obviously we'll do those too.
Yeah.
But
for
other than
sure.
that, fucking spread the love. Fucking quit
Share
looking
it.
at these
The Pizzagate one, we get it.
pedophilic pizza owners.
Let's start
Well,
talking
actually,
about
well,
some better
don't
shit.
stop watching that one per se, but just
No.
watch the other ones too. Maybe
Yeah.
I mean, click on it.
I mean, if
and
you,
then
if you
click
got
off.
time, you're like, oh,
Click
this,
on it, like,
this is
click
nice.
off.
This is a good video. Watch the full one. Be like, oh, maybe let's see what else they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's watch other videos too, guys. Show some love. Spread it out. Share the
We're
word.
desperate. We
We
quit our
are-
jobs yesterday.
We
If this
did
shit doesn't work, we're fucked.
We're unemployed. We're living in a van down by the river. And if we don't get this, we're going to be fucked. So please share the videos, like the videos, follow us on Instagram, join the TikTok, the Discord. I'm gonna start a TikTok probably next week, most likely. See, I'll add that eventually. But follow the Instagram, join the Discord. I don't think anybody's joined it yet, sadly.
I don't
But-
think anybody's gonna join it. Fuck the Discord. Subscribe, like, comment,
Share.
and follow the Instagram.
Tell your aunts, tell your uncles, tell everybody you know.
Get your grandma on this shit.
damn near, dude.
We're not ageist around here.
We're not. I think our age demographic is like 18 to 35, something
It's
like that.
changed a
so-
little bit. I did look. We getting some older fellas in there.
Which is nice. I'm cool with older fella. I'm cool with everybody watching our shit. I think
Dude.
everybody should. I think babies should be, instead of like PBS, I think they're taking that away anyways. Instead of PBS, they should show our podcast.
For sure.
I think most kids would get a lot out of it. And
I think if a child, like 4 to 6 years old, heard me talking about if I get in the ring with Gavin Newsom, I'd beat his ass, it would change the trajectory of his life for the better.
yeah, I think we would have the next president of the world at that point if we could do that to our kids. So yeah, thank you guys again for if you watch all the way. Please comment if you think we could beat Gabby Newsom's ass. I'm being dead ass about this.
It sounded so desperate.
It sounds desperate because we are desperate. We're at 88 subscribers. Let's get that shit to fucking 1 billion or something. I don't even know, dude. Let's beat Mr. Beast. I don't think we'll do that.
We're not beating Mr. Beast.
Ever?
Shout out Jimmy. Jimmy's the man.
Jimmy's the man. I would love to talk to Jimmy on the pod. Maybe we'll talk about some shit with him. But I'm just fucking rambling on right now. But that's the podcast.
Okay,
right
that's
there.
it.
Bye,
Goodbye.
guys.